WVU Medicine Camden Clark Medical Center's Dinner with the Docs took place earlier this evening. The topic for this evening was diabetes. A panelist of different doctors who provide care to those who have been diagnosed with diabetes answered questions about how to screen and treat the disease. 1.8 million West Virginians are diagnosed with diabetes and 200,000 are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. According to the Vice President of Ambulatory Services, education is a big part of prevention, and having a panel of experts to answer questions is important for the Mid-Ohio Valley.
So tonight we asked the community to come out with 1.8 million West Virginians diagnosed with diabetes, 200,000 diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Tonight we're here to educate and inform the community on how we can screen for and treat this preventable disease.
Low-cost vouchers for lab work were also provided at the event.